Hello everyone, Kyle from Pixelwave. Today I wanted to show you guys how to light a trade show booth. There's many different ways to go about this. I like to make the booth the focus itself and then push kind of the sleekness with it with reflections and maybe some glow effects. Nothing crazy, just tasteful. But the idea is to accentuate the booth and not have a bunch of stuff going on around or behind it. This is a design that I'm working with a production company with now. I just branded it all Pixelwave so I don't get myself in trouble. And let's take a look. Nothing too crazy, right? So you'd think a lot of people just jump right in and do an HDR or an HDRI and light it that way. I don't do it that way. The reason why is because it'll give us a bunch of reflections over this entire plane. And I want this like real dark kind of look. And actually, let me show you a reference image. So this image that's on screen now, I used to work with a production company to design all of EA's Madden and FIFA stages for pro gamers. And I really like this image because, again, it does focus your eye on the stage and what's going on with the stage, but you get a little bit of environment through the floor and some nice reflections and things that make it feel kind of photorealistic or kind of trick someone into thinking that this was actually produced and this may be an image. So if I go back to our scene here, we have this plane. And again, if I do an HDRI, maybe I can show you guys, it'll end up pushing a bunch of reflections all over the floor, which I don't want. So if I go to 8 and I pipe in this studio HDRI, we'll say instance. So then we get these harsh reflections all over, and it's really noisy, and then it kind of breaks up the silhouette of the actual booth itself. So I'm not a fan. Even if I was to rotate, let's try that. Yeah, here. If I was to rotate this and have the backdrop behind, again, still, I don't like it. Doesn't look good to me. So let's kill this guy. We'll stop that, and we'll say we'll not use a map. We'll go back to my override. I'll kick that. So show scene what black. The whole thing's black. And then what I've done is I've added a grunge map to the floor. Let's see here if I open this up. Something real basic. I just want little streaks. I want little dirt. I want little grime. 3D tends to be too clean. So if there are ways that we can break up textures, different ways to do so is what? Like information in our diffuse channel. We can break up roughness. We can break up bump or normals. It'll help push that realism. And this I could do a bump with or something, but roughness is enough because I don't want to draw too much attention to it. So I've slapped that on, and this is kind of what we get. So we get this down in here. So we get some nice reflections. We get some dirt going around, which kind of adds some nice little micro details. Again, trying to push like photorealism, but it's not like too distracting from the image because it's not crystal clear and it's a little bit rough. Okay, so what else have I done? I do want to get lighting information from top down. Generally within a trade show, you're going to have heavy lighting coming from above. So what I did is I added 4 lights up top, just like this. They kind of flank. I don't want them directly hitting the top of the booth because then it could end up looking a little blown out. And then it also, this kind of pattern helps prevent harsh shadows in the inside. Like, let's see if I was to take some of these out. Let's just put one right above. And I'll turn these off because we haven't got there yet. Off. So then you can't really see that we've lost all lighting. We've got some global illumination from the self-illumination going on the inside. There is a light out here that I have on, so let's turn that off as well. So yeah, so then you just get, all the light getting hit at the top. You can kind of see it up here hitting the logo and some of this too here. And then we get this light kind of down in the middle, or I'm sorry, at the front of the booth. Let's put these back and then we'll take a look at what we get from what I am doing. So we'll move these guys back. I could just kind of had it in a quad position. Go back to my camera, bring this back. So we get some of this. This is going to be negated by some of the lights that we have internally. So we've set up the floor to give us some nice little reflections. We've set up our overhead lighting to give a general lighting of the environment. And then let's do internal lighting. So I had these little lights in here. Let's see if I can grab them. There we go. Turn them on. I have the Kelvin set to 4,500. Check this out. 4,500 is pretty warm, right? Let me turn them off and turn them on. So we get kind of whitish lighting. There's, again, a little bit of global illumination with my logo color going on. But if I add it, adds this warmth. We get this play between warm and cool colors. Warm colors are always going to be nice and inviting, where cooler colors are going to be a little cold, just like that. We don't want to be cold. We want to be warm. We want to move towards warmth, right? So the lighting on the inside, I generally keep around 4,500 Kelvin. We could even push this idea further and change the lighting that's above to something that's cooler. Let's see what that looks like. So it's got the overhead lights selected. Let's go real warm or real cool, 7,500. What if we just did it like extreme? Oh yeah. So you start seeing some of this on the outside. It's not nice. It doesn't look good because obviously with my brand, it just looks like the color's spilling. But the overall idea is that we have either real cool or pure white lighting, and then we have where we want to draw or invite the person in, have it be a little warmer. Okay, and then as you can see, we have the outside lit, we have kind of the inside lit, but we're losing some of this detail or information in the front. That's why I just added this kind of like a spotlight effect in the front. It's just a disc. And again, the outside lighting, I wanted real white, so I just left it at 6,500. If I turn this on, boom, then this kind of ends up showing up. Get a little more detail out of that, which is nice. Okay, what else can I show you? Oh yeah, one other thing I wanted to show you was like glow effects or self-illumination effects. We have some glow effects going on with the bloom and glare from the lights that we have in the scene, but I want a little bit kind of on the edges of some of these logos. It ends up looking pretty sharp in the end. So let me show you how to do that. So what I have here is a multi-sub material. This is within 3ds Max. We have it right here, drag it out. What it does is it allows us to pipe a bunch of different materials into one multi-sub. And then we can actually go to the model itself and say, okay, these faces, I want this material on. These faces, I want this material on, and so forth. So I'll show you here. I've got this one built out. It has just a Corona white material. Then I have a turquoise glow material, which is my logo's color, and then just a white glow material. Let me show you how to apply these. Okay, so I'm gonna grab something like this logo up front. Oh, shoot, there's already one thing I'm missing that I see. I need the material, the regular material color for the logo itself. So I grab that. Let's pipe this in. Let's say we'll do this in 4. So if I apply this multi-sub to this model here, let's see what happens. Boop. Oh, here we go. Boop. Turn white. Did it do anything funky? Sometimes it'll like auto apply some of the materials and it ends up looking all weird. So we'll go to Edit Poly, and this is where we tell the model what faces we want to have what material. Now again, this has a white material. It has my colored flat material. These two are flat, and then the same colors but with self-illumination on them. So this is piped into slot 4. I'm going to grab all the faces and we're going to say set ID to 4. If I deselect, it's back to the original material or color that we have that's flat. Now I want all these outside edges to glow. So I'm going to grab these. Okay. Yep. Got them all. Oops. Got to get this one. All right. So then I want it to be the self-illumination of the same color. Maybe we do white. Let's do white. That's 3. So we'll pop that on. And you'll see it actually change color. So it's visually showing us that there is another self-illuminated material on that. And then let's do the same to this guy. I'll probably just end up doing white on all of it. Yeah, let's figure it out. So one easy way to do this is I can pull all the way out, try to get it all on screen. And I'm just going to do a selection right in the middle. Boop. And it should not select the front faces at all or the back faces. Yeah. So let's do this one white as well. We'll say 3. Oh, actually, you know what? Let's select the whole thing. And we'll do this as material 1 to make sure we have the right. And then we'll go back and we'll add the self-illumination. So that is white is 3. Did I do that right? Oh, it's not showing up because I didn't apply the material. Duh. Okay, let's try this one more time. We're going to highlight all of these. We're going to put this to 1. And then we're going to go on the top. And we're going to say these are all 3. Okay. That's looking much better now. So we have the white face on the outside, the glow on the inside. And then let's do the same for this one. So this whole thing, we'll just go like this. We're going to say, oops, we're going to say this is material 4. And then we'll go on the top and we'll select all these through. And then let's just use the material, the 2 ID. It's this one here that is the color but emissive. And you know what? While I'm at it, let's change this one too, since I created the material. It says outside glow. Now do I have just the real? Yeah. And we'll apply the material to that. We'll close this guy up. We'll see what we got. So now we get a little glow effect on these out here, which is kind of cool. I dig. Might be a little too much. going on as we're kind of losing the visibility of some of this stuff. So let's turn down the self-illumination just a smidge, and we'll see where this gets us. I think I'm at like 5 or 6 or something like that. 5, yeah, let's go down to 2. See where that gets us. Where are we on this one? We'll do 2 as well. So we still have it. Let's also drop this guy down a little bit. So we'll say 10. There we go. So it's not too strong. It allows some of the glow to come out. There you go. That's it. It's pretty easy. It's a quick little lighting setup. I feel like it's really effective though. And again, some of the grit and grime that we add on the floor kind of helps sell the idea that this is grounded in reality and this is a picture taken versus something that's like super clean. Let me show you that real quick. Here, I'll just remove what's on the floor. We'll just disconnect this. And it's nice, but it's just too perfect. It's too shiny. As soon as we add it back, we just get this little, just the little stuff. That's all it is. And then too, some of the texture on the carpet itself, it's just a normal diffuse and a bump map, something like that. It's pretty simple. We could go as far as like adding some glossy roughness to the walls to kind of break up some of this black textures. But I don't know, juice sometimes isn't worth the squeeze. Depends on the client's budget, how much time you have, that kind of thing. But so again, just a little recap. We have black override or just no HDRI or anything like that in the environment slot. We have a little bit of grunge on our floor, which is full black. Oh, that's something to note. There's nothing in PBR that should either be full white or full black, but there's exceptions to that rule, right? If I don't want any lighting information to show up on my floor itself, go full black. Full black in 3D will absorb all of the light that hits it and won't reflect anything back. So here, let me show you real quick. If I kick this off and I add just the smallest amount in, it'll start receiving light. Like if I go a little lighter, it'll start receiving light. I don't know if you guys can see that. See this here? Could be cool. You could want to use it. I don't like it for that jet black sleek look. I want no color in it whatsoever. So I'll go back to jet black and you'll see it kind of disappear. So then it's just reflection and then surface imperfections from the glossiness side of things or roughness. I keep saying glossiness in all the videos. I'm so used to working in glossiness. Okay, then from there we added our top lights. Don't put them right over the top like this. Stagger them a little bit because that'll give us some interesting shadows and light dynamic. It also keeps the top from being really blown out. And then we added our little internal lights, if I can get to that. Okay, I created little internal lights. You could even also maybe use IESs if you wanted a nice like light signature on the walls. I just kept it as a disc and did a little bit of directionality. And then the front of the booth, oh, wait a minute, I forgot to say, warm temperatures. Let's say you're in a render engine that doesn't allow you to do Kelvin, which is fine. Just do like a really warm white. Don't push it too far, just a little goes a long ways. And then the outside of the booth was losing some of its detail because it was dark. So I added a little bit of a kind of a spotlight effect. Same deal, a disc, directionality at 4, and that lights up the front. That's it. It's really that simple. Get a sleek looking render out of this that really focuses on the booth itself and not the busyness and stuff around it. I hope this video helps someone. If you guys got ideas for videos you want to see, hit me up in the comments. I'd be more than happy to make another video for you guys or whatever you guys want. Until next time, bye.